This is my Seth Thomas Speed Read clock from 1970, and it runs kind of loudly, so I'm going to show you how to take it apart, clean it, and then like oil it. Can you hear it? The first thing before you start taking it apart is that you need to unplug it. Here's the plug, it's definitely unplugged. It's so important that it's unplugged. It's right here. So we've got our screws here. There's one here, there's one here. These look like little feet, but as you can see, there's a little hole for screwing there. Then that one too. So we're gonna start by taking off this one. So I've already taken out this screw, and this little screw over here. So now I've just gotta take out this screw, and that should be good. So I can just put that over there with my other little screw, and then I can just like lift the top off. And this is the inside where you can now start working. So I'm just gonna explain things a little bit. So this is the motor, and then this is like the gears, and then these are our time wheels. So basically, the motor just spins, and then it like changes the time. If you are wondering about why this is longer, it's because this has to go to 12, so it has a lot more numbers to show. But this only has to go to 5, so that's why it's a lot smaller. And this has to go to 9. So there are 2 screws here, and that you just unscrew those to take apart the motor, which is what we'll work on next. Okay, so I've just taken off the motor, and as you can see, the second wheel is still attached, and then you can also see the birthday here. The birthday, which is March 17th from 1970, as I mentioned earlier. And you can also see this little notch here that rotates the minutes. So it's like every time it gets to like 60 seconds, it'll like rotate the minute. So this little notch controls this, and then I'm sure this has a notch that controls that, and then this has a notch that controls that. Okay, so now that this is apart, you can start like cleaning your numbers and stuff. You can also this is like really dirty, so you can clean that. If you haven't cleaned yours since 1970, it's probably gonna be really dirty, but anyway, you just kind of start like cleaning, and then you can also like clean the window now that you have access to like this part. So you can also like clean that part. That'll get a lot of gunk off it. Anyway, so you just kind of like clean this part. As you can see, it gets dirty eventually. Gross. Oh, and another reminder about cleaning, do not use alcohol when you are cleaning the numbers, because from previous experience, it starts making the ink come off, which is really bad, and you do not want that. So just clean it with soap and water, not too much soap, just a little bit. So this will take me a while to clean, so I'll be back tomorrow with part 2, and we can start oiling it. Sound good? So last time I was with you, I said that I would clean the wheels, but I decided not to because I thought about it, and we still have to lubricate the wheels. So that's gonna be a lot easier if we would take the wheels out. So I'm just gonna show you how to do that. And first of all, there are 2 screws, one here and one over here. So I'm just gonna take out these 2 wheels. So when you take these out, you kind of gotta work them back and forth, more side to side than up and down, and they just kind of come right out, but sometimes it can be a little hard. So I'm gonna do this one. Comes out like that. By the way, you need your professional Q-tips because they are the best Q-tips ever. They're awesome. Get them. So I have cleaned these wheels. I cleaned the numbers off and all. So now I'm gonna take out this third teensy-weensy wheel. So there's a screw right here, and I am going to just take that out. So you can just kind of screw it a little bit and then just pull it straight out. Also, be careful because these are not the same length. If you put them together, they're not the same length. Well, 2 of them are, but one of them isn't. So Anyway, and then you're just gonna kind of wiggle around like you did with the other ones and just take it out. Voila! Okay, so I'm gonna show you the tools that I'm going to use in order to oil these wheels. So first we've got our syringe, and then this is a industrial needle, and this is machine oil. This is machine oil, and this is not a medic needle because it's not so sharp, but I still wouldn't recommend touching it because of the machine oil. So now I'm going to show you how to do my oil. So first you're going to use the end of like your Q-tip or something else, whatever it is. Don't use the Q-tip head because you can't do it. And then there's this little shaft, and I'm just going to push that out. Kind of just try not to touch it too much, but you can touch it. Just clean, just take that out, and so you're gonna just want to like kind of give that a brush off before you start putting the good oil on it. And as you can see, it gets really dirty, so you want to give it a really good clean. So I'm just gonna do that really quickly, and then just clean this side where my hand was, and then you're good to go. You're gonna want to set that down. Put your Q-tip down, take your tweezers, and kind of hold it in place, and then just like drop it. And so you're going to very carefully just use as none as you can, or use as little as you can. And you're just gonna want to put in a line across, and then you're just gonna want to roll it in it, and you can kind of use your tweezers like I am. Just kind of like flip it over and stuff. And then you can flip this over, and this is just ready to go in. Oh, shoot. And this is ready to go. Okay. And this is going to go in, and there you go. So now I'm going to show you these little things, these little wheel stoppers or tabs or whatever you want to call them. If your numbers are not stopping in the right place, you're going to want to like move those or like bend them or to whatever size you need to make them fit your wheels. This is the notch that I talked about earlier. It helps like and it helps make sure that the numbers go in the right place. So it's just like a V-shaped metal piece that goes into a V-shaped carving. And it goes like that. And if I'm going to lift it up and show you how our work is paid off. You just lift it up very carefully, and I'm going to give it a really good spin. And you can see that the oil is really working. So then also, you can see this little, hold on, let me find it. This notch right there, that turns these, it turns the hour. And it's really fun to go and watch it. Like when you see it at like, for example, 6:59 and it's about to turn it to 7. It looks really awesome when it turns because it goes like, and it's really awesome. So watch that. One more thing about those tabs. So as you can see, there's a screw here. If you loosen that screw, and you can move this around, and it will move your number slightly so that you can have it just in the right place. So now we're going to start oiling the motor. Let me tell you the 5 spots we're going to oil. This is one, this is one, this is one, this is one. It's kind of hidden by this thing. And then this is one. There's a tab there to keep it from like going out, like from like dust and dirt getting in. It's kind of hard to take out sometimes, but you always get it. And then you're going to oil that little thingy. So, I'm going to start with this one first. So you just want to go and do a teeny bit. Don't flood it. Alright, that looks good. So I'm going to quickly just do all these other little points. You don't want to flood the thing, so just be really cautious of your oiling. I think I might have overdid that one, but whatever. So then you're just going to want to do a teensy bit. And then put a little bit more. And then right there you're going to want some. And right there. So, then now you are done. And you're just going to want to let it run for a little bit. Okay, so if your clock is a little bit different, you just look for the thing that looks like maybe like the shafts of gears or like the axis is of them. So you, yeah, like I said, your clock may be different than ours, but for this type of clock, they're there. So we ran this, and it is so quiet, like I can't hear anything, and it is so nice. So if your clock is old and it needs to be oil, oh, hold on. So this part, it also can get warm, and if you give it fresh oil, it helps for that. Also, if you have a really old clock, you probably need to oil it. Anyway, I made this happen, and I'm so proud for it, so you should make it happen too. So what's the difference between these two? Alright, wonderful job. One's brown and one's black. Haha, no, that's not the real answer. This one only has 2 pegs and this one has 3. This one is the ground plug, and for anything with a metal case that can shock, it can shock you. So you need a ground plug to tone it down. And then the ground plug is usually the green wire. So this one is the green wire. So you're just going to want to mount that under screw. And then you're all set. And this is Itrew, and thanks for watching. So, I told you I would wire this. I did, but I realized when I was wiring it that you would need a nice and bendy and flexible cord because it does come out of the bottom and not the back. So you need it to be able to bend in the back so that it can fit and not like, because the black one, it was like making the feet go like that, and that's not good. So, anyway, I'm going to go back to watching my Wes Anderson movie, and I will see you next time. Oh my gosh, would you look at that?
Wake up. Yes, I'm on the...
Same time too. Alright, thanks for watching Itchew's Fix.